and welcome back to my channel. It is currently 8:43 p.m. and our town got a new Dairy Queen with a drive-through. This is like amazing. So it's 8:43 and we're gonna see how long it takes us to get through the lineup because it has to be at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are 8th in the visual lineup, so I'm guessing there's probably like 15 cars in the lineup for real.
And it wraps around the building also.
Yeah, so I'm guessing at least 15 cars, 12, 15 cars for real. So I like drinking my ice cream with coffee, so we just got like...
And there's 3 more cars behind us. 4 more cars behind us.
So I just got like convenience store coffee, which is actually pretty good. It's like Columbia's. It wasn't Seattle's, but Columbia's. It was pretty good.
Seattle's best.
Is yours okay?
Well, like Seattle's most mediocre right now.
Well, it's Columbia's, which it should be like the best because it's Columbia.
That's not bad.
So, my husband and I, in, I can do math, 11 days, we'll be celebrating 10 years. So when this video...
Jazz hands.
When this video goes public and publishes on YouTube, it will be our anniversary day. So, happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, babe. Mwah.
So, how do you stay married for 10 years, Sebastian? Give advice to all the people there who are looking to get married or just got married.
Random gifts, that helps.
If their love language...
No special occasions, just every once in a while, get her flowers. Just for no reason. Or get her something she
won't
likes.
be just expecting flowers then?
Yeah. You go on a trip, get her a little something, show her that you're thinking about her. That's the key.
But my love language is gifts. So if your person's love language is not gifts, then figure out what their love language is. Gifts, quality time, physical touch, words of affirmation, and acts of service. So if they're acts of service, do the dishes for them or something else that they would normally do. If it's quality time, spend time like this together in 40-minute long drive-through for ice cream.
Yes. Also, listening is extremely important. Yes. A lot of the time, they're giving you hints thing, that's a real thing. You gotta listen to it. You gotta listen to the cues and the hints if you can.
So my advice...
I'm still not good at it, but sometimes I get it.
So my advice would be just say what you mean. Mean what you say. Don't just give a bunch of little hints. Even I give like the most obvious hints ever, which aren't really like hints. They're so obvious, but sometimes it's still just like... And date nights are important. Or date anything. We started doing date breakfasts, going to Cora's. We dropped the kids off. At first, our son wasn't in school, so we would drop him off with a friend of ours, and we like all trade babysitting all the time. We have 3 kids, she has 4. So we would trade babysitting, so we'd drop the kids off at school at 9 a.m. and then drop him off at her place and then have to pick up our other daughter for just before noon. So we'd have like 2.5 hours to go for breakfast. So I like the breakfast dates. But that works because of your schedule. A lot of people work like Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, but you work 7 days on, 7 off, so you have like a full week off. Yeah, and we would do it those days.
Excuse me. Yeah, breakfast dates just work better for our situation.
But we still do dinner dates, usually for a more special, like a birthday or anniversary. In this case, I don't know what we're doing for a covert anniversary. So I picked up the boyfriend booktube tag, so I'm gonna ask him some questions and see how well he does. Thought this would be a good anniversary one. Okay, so how long have we been dating?
Well, do you mean like before we got married or on top of everything?
How long did we date before we got married?
3 years.
Almost. 2 and a bit.
Yeah, that's so close.
We got married in May, and then we celebrated 3 years of being together in July. So, almost 3 years.
So close, yeah. So, gotta give me points for that.
How long, well, I already said, but how long have we been married?
10 years.
So, this year will be
9 months, or 9 months. Yes, 9 months. 9 years and 11 months.
10 years minus 11 days, but 10 years on this day that it's released. May 15th, in case you're watching this a different day. And what TV couple also shares May 15th as their wedding anniversary, which I didn't know that. I didn't plan that at all.
TV couple, I don't.
It's not a TV show.
Aniston?
No. TV couple.
Paul Rudd.
No. Although both those people are in the show.
They do TV stuff, though.
They're both in the show that I'm talking about.
Friends? No, Paul Rudd's. Oh yeah, Paul Rudd did like a thing in Friends, didn't he?
Yeah, he ends up being Phoebe's husband.
Yeah. So I got it right.
But Monica and Chandler's wedding anniversary is actually May 15th.
See, I got the right show at least.
So
I don't watch Friends, just so you know. I've only seen a few episodes of it.
yeah, just like random parts that I show you.
I was a Seinfeld guy, but I do appreciate Friends. I have seen a few episodes now, and it's funny. It's good.
Oh, it's our lucky 13 this year. We've been together 13 years. So lucky number 13. Are you a reader?
Can see you. No, not typically. It's not like I can't read.
He's not
it takes a lot. It takes a lot for a book to catch my interest. There are books out there that I found good. Like Jurassic Park was good. I'm reading the first book in The Witcher, which is called The Last Wish, I think.
Yeah.
Chronologically, it's the first book, I guess, from what I understand. And so far, that one's really...
Because you started watching the show first, and that got your attention.
Yeah, well, I knew about the games. The games is what I heard. Like, everyone was talking about The Witcher 3 when it came out. I know The Witcher 2 was supposed to be good too, but 3 was like the one that got really popular. And then I was interested from there. So then I got the game, played a little bit of it, and then Netflix came out with their show, and I watched the show, and I liked it. So now I'm reading the book, and the book is quite good. A lot better than I thought it would be, honestly. I was like, it'll probably be good, but this is one that's been captivating me. I've actually gotten pretty far in. Lots
and
of
it's actually like a novel. Because you normally read...
Well, sometimes I read mangas or...
Manga, I would say this is number one, like, not genre, because manga, like anime, can come in any genre, but your number one style of book.
Well, and graphic novels. Graphic novels are really good.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy graphic novels, which, I mean... But
a lot of people on booktube like graphic novels. I don't really read them as much. Here's a question for you. What Hogwarts house am I?
Okay, so I don't know Hogwarts houses very much. I think they're called Hufflepuff. I think those are like the really scholarly ones.
I have no idea. I've never read or really watched
All
Harry
I know
Potter,
is,
and I've never taken a test, so I don't know.
I know there's Hufflepuff. I know there's Slytherin.
Yeah.
And then there's the one that Harry's in. I can't remember what his is called. I did watch, again, that's a series I've never read. I've never read it. I watched a couple of the movies. Same sort of deal. Seems like it should be a series I'd be super into, but I just haven't really gotten into it. So I'm going to say Hufflepuff. You're one of those.
I only know Hufflepuff and Slytherin, and then Ravenclaw or something.
Something like that. Don't ask me.
I don't know.
I'm the Nintendo guy. You can ask me Nintendo stuff.
Okay, what Nintendo house am I in?
The Mario house.
Alright.
You like Mario games?
I do like Mario. It's like the one I play. Okay, what is my most anticipated book this year?
Oh, is it your Outlander series book?
That one is definitely an anticipated book, and we have no idea when it's coming.
Or it's the prequel to the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, you should get this one.
See?
Yeah. And I just found out today
attention.
that they're doing like another Twilight, so all Twitter is Twilight stuff, and I'm like, great.
Yay.
I've never read or seen Twilight at all, so I can't honestly judge it for what it's about because I've never read it or seen it.
Way to literally butcher one of the coolest monsters.
You don't know, you haven't
Fantasy
read it
monsters.
either or watched it.
I know enough about it to know I probably wouldn't like it.
I do need to read, is it Dracula?
Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula. I audiobooked that. I got about halfway through and that one's cool. Since it's kind of like more or less the origin to like the modern day Dracula. It's cool though. He's got like all these cool abilities and stuff. You can climb up walls.
Can you turn into a bat?
Don't know. I don't think so. You can kind of control like werewolves or something like that in the book.
Weird.
Yeah,
I need to read it. I want to read it for this Halloween coming up. So we're coming around the first corner, the second corner.
Well, he's like suave and intelligent and stuff like that. And if you don't know, then you wouldn't know, right? Like that's his whole thing. Anyways, kind of interesting.
So we are actually listening to currently the first Scythe book, which we started like February 18th or something like that. So it's been really hard. I'm really enjoying Scythe, and it's the only one we can get is the first one on audio because me and him consume audiobooks together. And I'm really enjoying it, but it's really hard because it's taken us February, March, April, now into May to listen to it. So it keeps pulling me out of the story, and then I've been reading so many books in between that. But what are you thinking of Scythe? Because we were talking about, are you a reader? Oh,
Scythe is a cool concept. It's far future, and then we've conquered death and stuff. And the idea of it's cool. It makes sense. No one wants to live forever. Like, I feel like that philosophical point has been explored a lot especially recently with stuff like The Good Place and things like that. Yeah, no, it's just another cool take on that idea. I like it.
And it makes me think of nature, where if you took out all the predators, then the prey animals would take over, and then they would start starving to death themselves, because there would, like, all the deer and all the plant eaters would eat all the plants, and then they would have no food left over, right?
Yeah, or the predators would go after each other.
No, I'm saying you like remove predators from an area.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just the prey animals running wild. So you need that balance of predator versus prey. And the scythes kind of act as the prey animals and control the population and stuff like that. What was the last book I read?
I don't know, you read lots of books.
Do you know what series?
You just finished a book yesterday at midnight. You know that much?
It was like 11:45 or something.
Well, I know you said just before midnight.
I know.
So
I'm
you
just
can
saying
say it was done that day.
Yeah.
I don't know what book it was.
Do you know what series I'm currently reading and trying to finish?
No.
So the one I did yesterday was...
Isn't it one of the ones that's part of your group? Like everyone in your group's reading?
Well,
people are reading?
I read the Gracier a little while ago, and then the book I finished yesterday was called Overwhelmed. So it's or Overwhelm.
Yeah, I remember seeing that book in the bathroom and stuff.
And and you asked me if you could
That's
ever
usually
just
how I know what books you're reading, because I always see them all over the place.
Yes.
Before bed, it's like, oh, that's what she's reading right now.
But that was the one I just finished. That was the book you asked me if you could ever just be whelmed, and I said apparently not. You can be underwhelmed and you can be overwhelmed. Can you ever just be whelmed?
That's from 10 Things I Hate About You, right? That's what isn't that where they say it?
Yeah.
Or Clueless, or one of those movies.
And I'm currently reading Shatter Me series, which I'm trying to finish. But getting distracted by my Mother's Day books. What is my favorite book?
Where the Red Fern Grows.
That's one of my favorite, like, childhood books for sure.
As far as like modern books, I know you're really enjoying the Outlander series, even though it's like a lot to read. It sounds like it seems to be like one of your favorites. You do talk about it a lot.
That's also because I'm watching it on Netflix.
Well, I was gonna say I know you're watching.
That's bringing it up too. I don't know what's going on in the van in front of us.
They're shaking around a lot. I saw a lot of hands moving.
Yeah, there must be kids or something there. It makes me think of that. If this trailer is rocking, don't come a knocking. That van is rocking.
So should we go over there and knock just to make sure they're okay?
Yeah. They must have kids or something, because I see a lot going on.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what your favorite book would be. I know like there's a few books you really enjoy. I know Jurassic Park is another one of your favorites. And you told me you liked The Lost World even more.
I like The Lost World a lot more than the movie. Like, it's really good. And I would say it's on par with Jurassic Park.
I was going to say, did you like it more than Jurassic Park?
I know I'd have to read them both again, but I would say they're definitely on par with each other. Yeah. And Summer Sisters is one I'm going to reread this year.
Wasn't there one that you really liked called like My Sister's Keeper or something like that?
Yeah, back when that was popular.
Yeah. You really liked that book.
Yeah. Back when it was popular and they came out with the movie and stuff.
So I got it.
What is my favorite book genre?
Drama or action, maybe? I don't know what subgenres or whatever.
Drama.
Well, like something like The Red Fern Grows, I would say that's a drama.
I'm not sure.
It's not really like an action book. It's about a boy getting dogs and that whole companionship. Coon hunting, yeah. But I would call that like a drama. I would call something like Outlander a drama. That's what it kind of sounds like.
Outlander's like historical, time travel, romance.
I'm doing broad strokes genre.
War.
I'm doing broad strokes genre.
I know.
It's like music, right? You can be like, oh, this is rock, but then when you talk to other people, like, well, no, that's hair rock. No, that's black rock. No, that's heavy rock. And then you got all the different subgenres, right? So as far as books go, I don't know the different.
I personally would say drama. Well, there's fantasy, there's romance, there's mystery, thriller, crime, true crime.
I guess you like some thrillers and stuff like Excavation and Frank Peretti.
Frank Peretti is scary. Like, I don't know, he freaks me out.
Those are like thrillers.
Yeah, he's scary. I like Ted Dekker.
But he's the same thing. He's kind of like...
I'd say that, like, crime mystery genre, because Michael Connelly does the, like, detective series. I like detective books. I do like mystery thriller. I don't like horror, though. I like romance in books, but not necessarily just, like, a romance book.
Harlequin.
I read them. Yeah, I read romance sometimes, but we've been recording for 18 minutes, and I can see the speaker box now, and we are 1, 2, 3, 4. Is there a car in front of that van? We're at least 5 away from the speaker box.
So I can look through their windshield, kind of.
We're 5th from the speaker box now. Who knows how far around it goes after that. Anyway, mystery. Oh, detective or lawyer. There are some lawyer ones.
F cancer.
Someone's car sticker. Lawyer ones, like Michael Connolly also does the Lincoln Lawyer series. There's only a couple in there.
Yeah, I guess you do like the crime mystery type ones too. You read a lot of those.
Thriller, and then I just started getting into Karen Slaughter. I read one of her books, which is more kind of like that crime too. But
so we're doing this booktube questionnaire thing. Are we gonna do like a video game tube questionnaire thing you do with me?
Yep. And you're gonna put it on your non-existent channel?
I have a channel. I just don't update it regularly.
You do.
The last
just
few things
videos of us in Japan from 3 years ago.
That's all I put on there was because that's what that was for family and friends to watch. And I just left it public. So whatever.
You can go watch us in Japan. How much time do I usually spend reading?
Lots.
That's why no one's parking there.
I would say typically at least an hour to 2 hours a day, usually. You do a lot of reading before bed, around nighttime. And then I know you try to get some reading during the day, which is why I say about an hour. Probably about 2 hours a day-ish.
Yeah, try to. It's like 2 seconds here, 2 seconds there because of children.
Yeah, it's hard, right? We're very busy with 3 kids and responsibilities and being adults.
Lame. What is something you notice about my reading habits? And it says, like, example, watching TV. Who watches TV and reads at the same time? I'd be so lost.
Lots of people. Well, it's like multitasking for, like, games, too. A lot of people play a game and watch something, and I used to do that.
I can do that, depending, like, Animal Crossing. It's kind of mindless.
Yeah.
If you're just sitting there, like, fishing or something. Or even, like, Mario, like, just the side-scroller. There's not a lot of story.
So I used to do that kind of stuff, and, like, for stuff like Animal Crossing, I might still do it, or like Stardew Valley, where it's a bit more mindless. You don't have to do a lot of reading and paying attention. But I've noticed more and more like these days with movies and with video games, I like to stay focused on those one things, especially movies. Well, like both, because they do stuff. They'll do little minute things that can be like a really big moment in a movie.
Yeah.
And you don't catch it. So that's why I always get mad at one of my friends, because he's always on his phone. And I'm like, dude, you need to watch this movie. It's really good. It's like, oh yeah, man, I'm watching it. And then it'll be like, some crucial moment will come up where it's like maybe 2 seconds on the screen. And then he'll completely miss it. And I'd be like,
yeah, I saw that.
And I'm like, dude, you just missed something important.
When watching TV or movies, I'm always crocheting or like cross-stitching or some kind of project like that. So yeah, I miss a lot of stuff too. Watching TV or listening to music or something. What's one of my reading habits that you've noticed? Oh man, we're next.
I guess one of your reading habits is you tend to do like certain milestones. Like you'll be like, I need to reach the end of this chapter today. I need to end this. I need to finish this book by the end of the year now. Regardless of what we need to do in that day, you're like super determined to get like that chapter or that book read. You're like very determined, which is good, but it can be bad sometimes. I don't know, like that's one of your habits, I would say.
Any habits like eating or snacking or doing something else while I read?
Well, a lot of the time you like to make tea before you start. When you're like
a drink,
when you're winding up to read, you'll get snacks like bread or biscuits.
Bread makes you fat.
Or muffins.
Everything you need was bread.
But
that's why I'm fat.
You do typically get a lot of bread before you do stuff.
Well, we've been making cinnamon bread. And some fruit.
I would say tea.
I like fruit.
Tea is the one thing. Tea or coffee is the one thing you typically do before you wind up to read.
They have Oreo
if you're trying to get some reading in while watching the kids, you don't typically do that kind of stuff. But you typically do that when you know you're gonna have an hour sliced out to yourself. I notice you usually get yourself like a snack, something to drink. Maybe you go to do that. You do up your hair and you do up. No, just kidding.
Raspberry Fudge Bliss. We need to do a Dairy Queen Blizzard book tag. Raspberry Fudge was good. It was a good one. We shared it.
We can do a Blizzard tier list.
Yeah, get them all. Let's do it.
So, strawberry shortcake.
It is now 9:06 and we are next.
Actually, pumpkin pie and the banana pie are like S tier. Oh, so good.
We just did our Marvel tier list. So, what book should I read sometime soon? What's a book you're recommending me?
The one I'm reading right now.
The Witcher?
Or Kicking Financial Ass. a book made by my friend. It was
Our
actually
friend
quite good.
Chris Dumont wrote a book.
Yeah, it's good. It hit the
Very
top charts a
exciting.
little bit. Not to like plug his
Financial.
stuff too much, but it's
It's about
good.
finances.
It's a good financial book.
Canadian.
Like at the top it says like financing for millennials, and it kind of is. He tries to talk it.
Well, he's our age, so in
Yeah,
his
he
early
tries to talk
30s.
it to like the
Mid-
millennial
30s.
generation, the way he plots it all out, and a lot of his points are quite good. I actually really enjoyed the book. I'm not trying to be biased. I actually really thought his book was well done.
So
as
shout
far
out
as-
to Chris Dumont.
Yeah, but the Witcher book I'm reading right now is pretty good. I think fantasy books are where it's at, because then it takes you away from this reality that we're going through
That's true.
into something completely different.
I want a small cotton candy. They also have dipped cotton candy cones, but I want the blizzard.
Can I get a small cotton candy dipped cone?
Yeah, for sure.
Once you go from
I
the,
don't even know what I want. Oreo cheesecake.
they have the flavors you like, with the strawberry. Those
They
are
don't-
just their new ones.
Yeah, but I get those like all the time.
So then we pull up and then we're at the window. So that's exciting. We're not even done our questions yet. So it's 9:08. So what time are we? 8:43. It's only like half an hour. So you think I should read The Witcher?
Yeah, I don't know.
What book would you consider reading from my shelf? Ooh.
Not the Outlander series. That seems exhausting.
Oh, it's only like 8 books long at like 1,000 plus pages each. It's only like
Going back
9,000 pages.
Going back
Ashley.
to what we were talking about, probably The Lost World,
Yes, you
because I hate that movie.
Yeah, no.
I know I hate it. It's just really not good, especially compared to the first one.
You just watch it for the dinosaurs, basically.
And then you were
that
telling me
one.
how much better the book is, and I'm like,
So
okay,
much
now I kind of
smarter.
want to read the
So
book.
much smarter.
Yeah. At the very least, that. But what you're currently reading, I couldn't think of any of your books that really would interest me.
No, just something for myself. Shelf. Superhero or supervillain?
For what? What's the context?
What do you like better?
Superheroes are better, technically, morally speaking.
Hi.
Dairy Queen is an essential service, okay?
Obviously, they opened up another one.
And your Oreo cheesecake. Have a good
Thank
evening,
you.
guys.
You too.
I wanted a blizzard.
You said you wanted a cone.
No, I said I wanted a blizzard.
You said you wanted a dip cone. What,
Should
what,
we replay back the video?
No.
I wanted a blizzard.
what do I tell them?
I want a small blizzard.
Small blizzard what? Like what flavor?
Cotton candy. I did want to try this though.
You kept talking about that dipped cone. Like every day for the last
We'll
week.
just share this one and then pay for
Yeah,
the...
just a second.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
I did, and then at the box I said, and I have video proof.
Yeah,
I
but what
said-
have you been saying all week?
I've been talking about how they have it, but I prefer the blizzard. I do want to try it.
They're open from 10 to 10.
Ooh, it's good. Try it. I like their cotton candy flavor. I find it not too sweet, but I do have a pretty sweet tooth.
That's actually not bad. Alright, thank you very much.
So, what do you like to read or watch more? Superhero or supervillain? I just got a free blizzard.
I don't know, it really depends on the story. I think supervillains can have can be more interesting, because a lot of the time they have like something like
is really
interesting
sweet,
backstory, or like some big event that happened that makes their... I don't... Well,
Do you want some? No?
I guess.
Okay. I haven't even looked. The lineup is huge again.
No, back to where we were.
We're like past where we were now.
Hardcore.
Superhero or supervillain?
I said superhero.
But you were saying something about supervillains.
Oh yeah, just supervillains can have more interesting backstories typically, or have more interesting kind of plot devices, I guess. But if I were to go one or the other, probably superhero.
We just finished
like,
watching all of our Marvel movies, so...
there's been kind of a big paradigm shift in like superhero movies and stories in general. It used to always be about superheroes, but now people are more interested in supervillains.
Well, like the Joker.
Yeah.
It's a really good movie.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, what's popular now is more villains and anti-heroes, and I think anti-heroes are usually pretty interesting. You know, the ones that are not, they're not like super good, but they usually kind of fight for good. You know, like Venom is typically an anti-hero, or he hates Peter Parker, who's a superhero, obviously, and will fight Peter Parker at any chance he gets. But he also stops bad guys, but usually only for his own motives or his own reasons, for selfish reasons. So, anti-heroes. That's my
Anti-heroes.
answer.
I think I probably lean more towards the superhero, too.
Like Deadpool and stuff is an anti-hero too.
Daredevil. Who's the guy I was thinking of? Is he a superhero or?
Yeah, he's a superhero. He's like a purely good guy. Punisher is an anti-hero.
We started watching Daredevil on Netflix. I couldn't do it. It was too gruesome, too violent for me.
Yeah.
He like stabbed a person's head through like a spike, and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, that was the series they wanted to put into like the mature category, right?
Mm-hmm.
They wanted a mature.
I like the MCU because they're more like PG-13. Really good stories and everything, but not super overly violent.
Yeah. But I like how they did some stuff, like Deadpool. They didn't water down Deadpool. Deadpool is a very violent comic. Mm-hmm. So they're like, we need to make the movie kind of like that. And they did, and it was genius. It was so good. I
never watched it.
Yeah, it is hyper violent and like really crude, but it's a pretty funny movie.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you these terms. You tell me what they mean. So what's booktube?
Group of YouTubers that read and share their thoughts about books.
What is a reading slump?
When you're kind of burnt out on reading a lot of books, that's my guess. Or you've read a book that's really bad that's kind of put you in a slump where you don't want to read anymore.
Yeah, you don't want to read. Or every book you've picked up has just been crappy lately.
Yeah.
So you don't want to read. You're like, all
everything.
books suck and I don't want to read anymore.
Yeah. See, it's the same kind of stuff for games too. You can play a whole bunch of crappy games and be like, I'm done.
What does TBR stand for?
To be read.
What's a wrap up? It seems kind of obvious.
Wrap up? Like when you finish a book?
A lot of people film wrap up videos.
That's just my guess. Or you finish a series maybe.
Well, wrap up videos like this is all the books I read this month.
Oh.
I don't film those. What's a readathon?
When you read a whole bunch of books in a row? Just like a marathon, but with books. Like you're like, oh, I'm going to read these 3 books in a short amount of time kind of thing. Yeah,
so on BookTube, it's usually a category. Like in November, I did the Buzzwordathon. So I read all those books that had a number in the title. Remember?
Okay. Yes,
you're reading a certain topic.
Oh, that was like a themed kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's what a readathon is. It's usually themed around something. Like it could be Harry Potter, or it could be like Buzzwordathon, or I did the backlist readathon, so books on my backlist. And last question, what's a reading vlog?
Oh, a video blog about a book that you read.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or books that you read.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to ask me what your favorite booktuber was. I thought one of your booktuber people asked that question.
Who's my favorite booktuber?
Oh, I know you watch a lot of books in Lala. So.
Canadian represent. It's true. I'm usually like, I'm watching books in Lala or telling you something about them. I think she's like one of the biggest booktubers.
Yeah, probably.
So anyways, we're almost back home. It is now 9:18. Well, I think we started this at like 8. What did I say, like 38? So anyways,
Bumps.
Too bumpy. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, babe.
Thanks for doing this video with me. Peace out.